I've spoken here before. It's fair to say I haven't spoken within a few hours of another significant aftershock like we had last night. And I think it was quite timely in a sense. I mean, it's never nice to have these things, but it's important to remember why we have had to be conservative in giving red placards to houses and keeping people out of dangerous situations. Because we had a lot more rocks come down again in most of those dangerous places. And I'm not saying we're going to have to go back to the beginning of our assessments, but there's a lot more reassessment that is going to be required now. It's fair to say there were no startlingly new surprises. They were places where we had had previous damage. So the patterns remain the same. And the hardest one that we face is this business of boulder roll, because where you've got a rockfall and then the products of the rockfall roll such a long way and in such a random manner, there's an issue, a health and safety issue for all sorts of people, even at quite considerable distances from the actual rockfall that initiates it. We are grappling with this, and we've been given a strong directive by GNS Science, the National Science Organisation, that before we can lift red placards and put people back into houses, we have to be satisfied that the probability of someone being killed or injured is less than 1 in 2,500. So we're grappling with what that means in terms of what we actually can do. And in some places, I think we're going to be concluding we can't actually fix it, even as much as we want to. So I think this business of retreat that we've heard about for the flatland, for the liquefaction areas, I think it's inevitable there will be at least some retreat from the worst, most dangerous settings in the hill areas. I don't know what those areas will be and how it will work. These are all new concepts for all of us, the idea of walking away from places that we thought were suitable. But we've all learnt something in terms of an active fault under us, which we didn't know about before February 22nd. So now's the time to make those decisions. We don't want to find we put you back into houses, someone is killed or injured because we've been optimistic. No one's going to thank us then, particularly the people that have been moved back in and have their relatives or their friends or one of their family killed or injured in that situation. So we have to be very, very careful, and I'm sorry, but it will take a long time, but we're not going to make a mistake on this. So over at the banners at the back, I'll have the geologists that have worked in this area in particular, people from Oricon and from URS who've been working in Heberden Avenue and Wakefield Ave. They'll be there to answer specific questions as much as we can answer them. But remember, our role's been to keep you safe, to look after life and limb and the lifelines, and EQC are going to be coming in behind us to help with the property issues. And it's going to be a combination of the two of us. I mean, our information will go to EQC and is going to EQC, and they'll be drawing on that information as well as making their own evaluations of what they can do. One of the complications is EQC under the Act are obliged to think of imminent risk in a 12-month period. In 5 years, they would treat that as a separate claim, a new claim. For us, as you've heard, we're thinking about something with a much, much longer return period potentially, and we have to take cognizance of risks that are long-term and not just imminent in 12 months. But we will be working with EQC, and we're not going to put you back into places where you could be killed or injured. Thank you. We'll see you over at the blue banner later.